everybody. We are live at Boulevard. Again, it's Wednesday night, so we're all drinking together. And this time, more people have beers because I peer pressured them into it last time. We are doing another Facebook Live because guess what? The Chiefs are still in the playoffs. They're playing the Patriots this Sunday at Arrowhead. I almost said Saturday, and we've had one Saturday game all year, so this is a great start. Unfortunately, I don't have the headband tonight. I left that at home. So I can't like put on my thinking cap or anything. But we're gonna get started. As soon as I introduce everyone here, because I forgot to do that last week. Although if we're in week 20 or whatever it is and you don't know who these people are, then that's a you problem. But we've got Lynn Worthy all the way down here on the side. Sam Mellinger right here. Sam, I keep saying your name wrong in my head, but now before I say it, I just
nailed it.
I know, but now I say Sam Ellinger, and then I take away, then I just add the M or
that guy,
whatever.
man.
God bless him.
He's got to
I thought it was the Tank 7.
And then what did you say, Sam? Was it Snarky?
No, that guy, he's either got to quit the sport or win the Heisman. Like one of the two.
Those are the only options. We've got Vahe Gregorian here, who I don't need to word associate him with a football player. You are a football player.
Actually, there is a guy in the University of Texas. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but it's Vahe. And I've got a picture I keep on my phone because it reminds me of my link to Sam, of him standing right behind Sam Ellinger. It's a beautiful thing.
I love it. And then we have Blair Kerkhoff right here.
For which nobody on the Texas team is named.
None. There are also no Brooke Pryors on the Texas team. So now that we have introductions out of the way, let's jump right in. The biggest news of the day, Eric Berry was a full participant in practice, because who saw that coming?
I like that you put out a grainy photo of him like the Loch Ness Monster.
Is he real? Who knows? Because that's how far away they put us. They're like, hey, we're going to put the news as far away from you as possible. So we're really going to test the depth and the length of your Zoom. And I went all the way, I zoomed all the way in. Sam, what are your thoughts about the fact that Eric Berry fully practiced today?
I mean, like at the beginning of the week, I wouldn't have guessed it. I thought he was done after last week. Because my thought was, you guys know this, like I thought he was going to save it up and let it eat, during the playoffs. But like once he's inactive for that game, I just figured it's done. But was it yesterday that they activated LDT? And once they cut Ron Parker, okay, they must really think this guy's going to play. Because if he doesn't, they've got 3 safeties. And that's pretty thin, especially when you have like Orlando Scandrick. I mean, you've got some other dead weight that you could cut. So once they did that, I was like, they must feel pretty confident that he's going to play. I don't know why. Like, why couldn't he play last week?
Don't know why.
No. What I mean is, why couldn't he play last week and they're this confident that he's going to play now?
Well, we know
that
that
seems
the
weird.
Communication is really good between
a little
them.
bit better
Eric must
every
have said,
day.
I'm going to play.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying I don't know why they feel confident. That's what I thought you were saying.
There's a little bit of that
I think the communication between Eric Berry and the Chiefs is the greatest communication skill I've ever heard. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Seems like one-way communication, though, by the way.
Well, and it does
We're
seem,
reminded every week how good the communication is.
smart Alex that we are, it does seem like they sort of protest too much on this, like, because Andy always brings that up before you even ask him about that. It's like, I just want to be clear, the communication is really
We're
good.
definitely talking. But see, I kind of thought that when they released Ron Parker, it was more commentary on, hey, we like Jordan Lucas this much, or hey, we like what Eric Murray's been doing and Dan Sorensen, and we feel good rolling with those guys. Maybe I'm a pessimist, but I didn't think it had a ton to do with Eric Berry until today, until we find out that he's not just practicing, but he's fully practicing. There's no limited, it's a 10-10-10. Which, Vahe, what's a 10-10-10?
10-10-10, as we researched after last week's debacle.
Jack could have told us, by the way.
Jack could have told us.
I knew the whole time.
Jack didn't have to ask. Jack could have told. 10 offensive plays, 10 defensive plays, 10 special teams plays, rinse, repeat. I don't really know why that in itself conveys that it's not full go, but I think it's not exactly preseason camp type practice. It is interesting to me, of course, that they practiced outside, gearing up for the weather that Blair points out is looking like it's going to be almost 22 degrees now is the new forecast.
I'm very confused about this weather, by the way, because sometimes, like Gary Lezak said a couple days ago, it's going to be 1 degree at kickoff, which, by the way, is the record for the coldest game ever played at Arrowhead. Then today he said 15. Then this afternoon we see 20 to 24 degrees. Like, is it going to be 80 by Saturday? 90 on Sunday? What's going on?
I noticed that we did all kind of adjust our predictions last week as the week went on. I think that's kind of what happens with the weather. You know, you take in the new information.
Well, and the weather,
Doppler.
but the weather had an impact on the game. The over/under was 57, I think, last week. It was 31-13, so I think the weather did play a factor in last week's game. I think it's going to be less of a factor Sunday than what we were thinking 2 days ago. I mean, if this forecast is right, and I don't care what the local weather, the meteorologists say, the National Weather Service says high of 22 to 24. That's an entirely different scenario than single digits or wind chills in the negative.
It is. I mean, one thing that's 22 at kickoff, right?
Yeah.
Which is at
We
5:40.
do 5:40, right.
And, you know, so it could get into the teens or whatever, but...
It could, but I think that bodes well for the Chiefs. I think better conditions favor the Chiefs in this game more so than the Patriots because of Tyreek Hill, because of Sammy Watkins, because of just the speed of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I think better conditions favor the Chiefs more than the Patriots.
I think that's right. I think that's right. That makes sense to me.
I can get behind that.
I think this week, yes. I think last week it did play into the Chiefs' favor just because when I look at the Colts, and I'm like, that team did not play like, you know, what we had seen before.
No.
That team did not come out of the dome and come into Kansas City looking like it wanted any part of what they were in. So, I mean, Andrew Luck throwing balls that were like skipping across the grass. I think last week it played a factor. This week, 2 cold weather teams, I don't think it really matters that much.
I think the other thing is we saw this today. Those of us who were at Arrowhead, they're laying the turf out there.
Yeah, you got there early and we're posting photos of that happening.
Right, they've got the middle of the field got kind of chewed up in the Colts game. They're laying new sod in the turf and in the end zone, and we didn't ask anybody, we didn't talk to anybody about there today. I'm hoping to do that tomorrow. But it looks like the field's going to be in pretty good playing shape for Sunday. And as I recall, correct me if I'm wrong, that the Chiefs and the Rams were supposed to play in Mexico City, but 2 weeks before that game, the conditions were so bad they couldn't play in Mexico City because of the field.
Yeah.
This field's going to be in shape in less than a week. So
Right. I've never thought about turf and sod so much in my life as I have this season between the Mexico City game and then today.
Right.
I like that. Check me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you may want to check me on this. I'm glad you allowed for that.
I need to
Don't
stutter
worry.
a little bit.
People will definitely let us know if we're wrong.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I say.
So, sorry, I had to tweet out a different link because I learned we are not on the Red Zone Facebook Live page tonight. We got called up to the big leagues. We are on the Kansas City Star.
Look at us.
So,
Moving on up.
they finally graduated. It took all year. We got called up from the practice squad to the active
Do we need to
roster.
resend the link though? Is that?
I have sent the link. If you'd like to retweet me again, my retweet of a retweet of a retweet, you can do that. This is how the magic works, people. This is how we disseminate information, just like this.
And you and I are
Pat
the only
Mahomes
ones
has
that can
pushed
talk
us to
76
the main star page.
I thought you were going to tell me
Maybe
that Pat Mahomes
Mike Stair.
retweeted our Facebook Live, and like there's very little chance of that happening right now.
That would be a bad omen for Sunday if he was doing that.
If he was on Facebook Live, yes, we don't want that. So we've discussed a couple things. I missed some of what you guys were saying, so if I ask you to repeat a topic, just tell me no, and we'll just go off live. We'll just turn it off. Eric Berry, full participant. Ron Parker release. It's going to be cold. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif is active. The doctor is in. How many times have we made that joke in the last 48 hours? Too many.
Lynn talked to him today, right?
Yeah.
Did you talk to Laurent?
I did. LDT, the doctor? Yes, I did. Did
you get a diagnosis?
The diagnosis is he's ready to play. He doesn't know how much he's going to play, but he's ready to play. That was my major takeaway was without saying he wants to be back in the starting lineup because you can't come out and say, I want my job back. He talked about how he thought this was a special team, a special year. He wanted to get back so much to help this team maybe do something that it hadn't done. He wants to play. Like he feels like he's ready. I asked him, well, in practice, you haven't really had that much contact. How do you know where you're at? He said he's been doing some extra stuff, pull the guy from the practice squad to do some stuff so that he can know where he's at. I think I don't know if he's going to play, but I think he wants to be back in that lineup in this game, AFC Championship game. I mean, why wouldn't he?
I'll tell you what, Andrew Wiley has played really well, I think, in his that right guard position. And I don't know what they're going to do. Andy Reid said today that he's been working in with the ones, just like Eric Berry's been working in with the ones. But I don't think they can go wrong. I think Andrew Wiley has brought just a little nastiness to that offensive. Yeah, a little bit of edge to that offensive line. I don't think they can go wrong there. There's he's on the team, right? They cut Rob Parker for him, so he's on the roster. Maybe you work him in on some special teams early, and then he doesn't start this game, but starts the next one, perhaps.
The next one.
The next one.
Oh, okay, I thought we were taking this one game at a time. Andy Reid's going to take your credential.
You know what? Andy opened that door himself when he came out at his press conference the other day. He goes, 2 more, right? 2 more. And then he caught himself. He goes, 1 game at a time.
So
pretty much said it like that.
Column, if the worst happens on Sunday, which one of you guys are going to? Andy Reid looked 2 games ahead, and that's what's happened.
I mean, look. In fairness, I think we all thought this, and to some degree, Andy was borderline giddy for him after that win. He as much as they tried to shrug off the feeling that the city was feeling about 25 years of futility, he understood what it meant to the city. And I think Andy's that way, right? Andy feels it for himself, but I think he feels it for others.
He does. There is some personal sort of capital in this for him too.
Yeah, no doubt.
His legacy, if we can use that word, it's secure and it's a good one, but it's not as good as it would be with 1 more win, which is not as good as it would be with 2. Like that is a big jump.
I think it's so big. I think it's a difference between the Hall of Fame and not the Hall of Fame.
You said that and your point is just winning this game.
Yes.
Hall of Fame.
This game.
Not
This
even
is the Hall of Fame.
Which means 2 Super Bowl appearances.
2 different teams. Yeah.
It's the difference between Marty Schottenheimer and Chuck Knox never getting to a Super Bowl, Bud Grant and Marv Levy getting to Super Bowls and never winning them. I just think Andy Reid he'll be a Hall of Fame coach if he wins Sunday.
Because Marv did it 4 times, one team, but still 4.
Yeah.
Andy, 2 different teams.
2 different teams, a ton of wins, right? Yeah. Top 10 all-time victory list.
And look, if you really think this through a little bit, let's just assume for argument's sake, Andy coaches certainly 5 more years. He's going to be in the top 5 in NFL history in wins. I mean, he's at 207 now. He's going to tie Chuck Noll is going to tie with 2 more wins, 209. I think it's Curly Lambeau is 5th with 229.
Is that just regular?
All purpose.
Always.
Post and regular season and postseason. So he's probably going to end up between Curly Lambeau and Tom Landry. I think Tom Landry's next with 270. So he's going to be top 5. He's going to, just assuming everything sort of plays out as it has.
That's pretty good.
So would that be enough without a second Super Bowl appearance?
Here's my question, though. How much pressure does he feel this year to get there?
It's a good question.
Because, how important is it for him to cross that threshold, reach that milestone right now, this team, this year, these 3 weeks?
Well, look, the thing you know is you got a number 1 seed this year, and that's a rarity in itself. But you also know it's the first year of the Patrick Mahomes era, however that's going to play out. But you can't assume you're going to be back. I mean, you can't assume that things are going to fall the same way any given year. So you got to grab it while it's there.
Right. See, I kind of think that there's less pressure because it felt like this season was supposed to be about building for next season. And the fact that they're here a year early is gravy. Yeah, you want to strike while the iron's hot, but I think the iron is still going to be hot, if not hotter, a year from now.
So it's the Dan Marino lesson.
Yeah.
It's the Dan Marino lesson. So in his second year, Dan Marino, 1984, has 14-2. They go through the AFC. They beat the Steelers in the AFC title game. They go to the Super Bowl and lose to Joe Montana and the 49ers. And in one of the most greatly anticipated Super Bowls of all time. And Dan Marino never gets back to the Super Bowl. It's his 1 Super Bowl appearance. Now, Don Shula was the coach. His legacy was fine. There was no problem with Don Shula. But that was it for Dan Marino. And a great quarterback. Had spectacular career numbers and had a wonderful career. He's a Hall of Famer. but he never got back to the Super Bowl after that second year. And who would have thought? Who would have thought? I remember, I know you and I are both, we're of the age when we remember that season. How it was just, he had 48 touchdown passes, and the record had been 38 or 39.
Yeah.
He just obliterated it. There had never been a season like what Dan Marino produced in '84, and you just thought he would be that, he's the guy for the next decade. And he was statistically, but not team success.
And also surrounded by some talent too,
He did
right?
have
Because
talent.
that's part of the,
Got to the
is
playoffs.
Pat sustainable?
Yeah.
And my lean is yes, because I think he's like wildly talented, obviously, but he's also got that coach. He's got Tyreek Hill. He's got But your point is a good one in that, because like Marino was surrounded by
Had Mark
some good
Duper. He had guys.
players,
He absolutely had guys.
Yeah.
But it never. He got to the playoffs. They couldn't get past. Couldn't get to the Super Bowl.
It's an interesting question, though, too. What Brooke mentioned, the term pressure. That's a tricky term in this instance, right? I mean, if you're an NFL head coach, if you're a player, you're in the moment, right? It's not like it's different pressure to be in an AFC title game now than it is to do it again, right? Wouldn't you always feel that pressure in every game in the playoffs like that?
It is. I mean, I've probably been too far on the one side of the pendulum with the quarterback, but like, what is pressure to this kid? You know what I mean? Like, when have we seen him even start to crack? Like, there's been little moments where you're like, uh-oh, is this it? At Denver, Monday night, first game.
First half at New England.
At New England, yeah. And then what's he do? He wins a game left-handed. He scores 40 points in New England, which I don't think anybody has done against Belichick.
31 in the second half.
Yeah, which nobody has done against Belichick in that building. They lost the game, right? That's more on Josh Shaw than it is, and Bob Sutton, than it is on
That's
Pat
on,
Mahomes.
my talking points list.
Okay,
We'll
good.
get to that.
So, like, there is pressure, right? Like, I get that. But I just wonder, I think this quarterback, like, if this is who he is, I don't know what that means to him.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
so now when you talk about Patrick, I think Patrick, the pressure can sort of be like, you just go play. But when it's Andy, who's in some ways has to take a little bit of a big picture, like in his mind, you've got to have some pressure because you're here now, home game. The Patriots are probably, I don't want to say one of the weaker teams, but like it's not like the 07 Patriots. I mean, like, this is a beatable Patriots team compared to some of these other Patriots teams.
in your building.
And then in the back of your mind, if you're Andy, not so much Pat, but if you're Andy, there's decisions that will happen from year to year, especially when you've been around as long as him. Like maybe Justin Houston's not back next year.
That's true.
Maybe somebody gets hurt next year. Like you're here now. This is the moment, I mean, I don't think it's something where it's like it's going to change how he coaches, but I think if somebody feels it, it's Andy because he's got that big picture view just because of the experience and because he knows like the next year can be completely different.
No, it's a good point. Like, Pat's got longer in this league. It's weird to say, but Pat's got longer in this league than Andy does at this point.
Yeah.
Like, Pat will outlast the coach, and the coach knows he might have Pat like until he retires, but he's not going to have him on that rookie contract. And like once that happens, you got to make decisions. Tyreek Hill's about to get paid. Chris Jones
a lot
is
of guys
about to get paid.
yeah.
D Ford is about to get paid.
And I think Kelsey will be a Chief for a long time as well.
Yeah.
But Lynn makes a good point. I mean, the injury thing, and when have they been healthier than they are right now?
Yeah.
I mean, when have they been healthier? I mean,
Yes.
the only
Yes.
guy
Yes.
who's not there that you think, boy, you wish he was there was Kareem Hunt, and there's a reason why he's not there.
Sure.
But in terms of health, this is kind of amazing that they're as healthy as they are.
Eric Berry was a full participant.
Oh, for the 10-10-10, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, I want to go back to Josh Shaw and Bob Sutton, because who doesn't want to do that? And we had a question in here a second ago, if I can scroll up and find it. We were asked, what are the defensive changes that have happened since, there we go, Cindy. What changes have occurred in the defensive plan since we played the Patriots earlier in the season? They scored so many points. For one thing, Josh Shaw is not on the team, so that's great. Though I don't really know that he was a huge part of the defensive plan to begin with, but he happened to end up on Gronk there at the end of the game. So let's answer Cindy's question. Lynn, I'll start with you. What are the biggest changes that you've noticed in this defensive plan between that first meeting and now? Or you expect to happen?
To me, it's just personnel. The biggest one is personnel. I mean, aside from the fact that in that first game you had injuries, I mean, like Justin Houston didn't play in that game. Your safeties in that game, I believe, starting the game were Parker and Lucas, where you're looking at potentially Sorensen and Eric Berry this time around. Travis Ward, Sam's new boy, is now starting the corner and looked pretty good the last couple of weeks. You know, for as much crap as he took after that Seattle game, he's looked pretty good against Indianapolis. So to me, the biggest thing is personnel.
Anybody over here? I was swallowing my beer.
That's a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
Like, because Justin Houston, like, if you go back, like, the times they played the Patriots with Andy Reid, is this the first time that both those guys have been healthy, Houston and D Ford?
Yeah.
That playoff
The
game.
14 game, maybe? Where was Barry in 14? Is he out that year?
I mean, D Ford and Justin Houston were healthy that game. Or no, they had Tamba too. They had Tamba.
yeah.
So they had two pass rushers, and they won, and that was in this
That's
building,
right.
right? Like, I think that matters.
the
And
playoff
Chris
game,
Jones coming up the middle. Justin Houston
Didn't play the playoff
Justin
game.
Houston,
Started,
right?
I think.
That's right.
Was gone.
Yeah, played like
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
snaps or whatever.
Yep.
That stuff matters. Like, the thing about Tom Brady, like, he doesn't move as well as he used to, and he didn't used to move all that well. So if you can get to him, you know, that's when you affect him. He gets the ball out really quick, so sometimes it doesn't matter what you do. But still, you've got, we always talk about Chris Jones, and he's the star. Alan Bailey's pretty good too. And then you got these two guys coming around the edge. Like, that's how you're not going to beat them that way. Like, that's how you kind of hold them down a little bit. And look, like, Patriots are fully capable of scoring 43 again, like, on this defense. But the Chiefs defense, I do think, like, the personnel, it's not just a little bit different. Like, I mean, it's a lot different, I think.
Oh, it's really like a
Yeah.
like
That's why I said it was the
25%,
biggest one.
30% of
Yeah.
the defense, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's pretty significant.
Yeah, I do think they were doing some different things. I mean, I'm like, you did a really good piece. You should check it out on KansasCity.com about like how the defense was doing a little bit differently. It seemed like they had some different blitz schemes. They were like taking advantage of some matchups. It was different.
It's hard to, like, I mean, and without having all the numbers in front of me, it's hard to quantify. Like, I know I've seen some of those things at times during the season. I just don't know. I couldn't tell you if there's a game where you saw all of it at one time. But I do think some of those things they did, there's potentially for carryover, because, like, making sure you keep them in the pocket but then pressuring up the middle, like, everybody who's seen Tom Brady play for the last 20 years knows if you can get pressure up the middle, that's what bothers you. You know, that's how you get to him. Like, coming off the edge, okay, maybe, but he's so good at in the pocket, stepping up and working it. Sort of, you know, like you see Pat do it sometimes, and Pat might get out and run, but Brady just stays in there, just sort of, you know, works the pocket. Coming up the middle is huge against Brady. And that's one of those things they did this past week. They did it different ways. They did it with blitzes. They did it with stunts, which, you know, people, I mean, if you go by my, you know, people, all of our Twitter feeds, it's been weeks since into the season, everybody's been hollering about how come they do more of this, how come they don't do more of that. Just different looks to make sure they got one-on-one matchups. They did all of that. So I think, depending on what they can carry over, that's going to be crucial for Tom Brady. And you mentioned how fast he gets the ball off. Well, Andrew Luck was one of the fastest, you know, this season. I think it was 7th fastest in terms of time getting it out of his hands. And they did things just to make him hold it, too. So, I mean, if you can do that, that bodes well.
Yeah. Derek Nottie coming up. I thought Nottie was terrific on Saturday, too. Like, if he can be that force, I know he plays, like, pretty much just rundowns, but if he can come up the middle and collapse that pocket a little bit, I think that can make a difference, too.
Hey, it's Blair Kerkhoff, and if you're listening to this, you love Kansas City sports, whether it's the Chiefs, Royals, Sporting, Mizzou, KU, or K-State. And no one covers these teams like the Kansas City Star. If you currently subscribe to the paper or have a digital subscription, thank you for your support. And if you don't, here's a great offer. It's called Sports Pass. Unlimited digital access to every sports story and video on kansascity.com. And it's just $30 for the first year. It's the best sports value in town. Just 8 cents a day or $2.50 a month. You can't beat that. Subscribe now at kansascity.com/sportspass.
Well, if we're looking at one player, maybe, or two, however many players you want to pick on the Patriots team that are going to give the Chiefs the most trouble offensively, we haven't done one of these like lightning rounds, so maybe we won't do lightning round. It'll be like a slow thunder rumble round of who you think will give the Chiefs the most trouble. Blair, let's start with you.
Well, I think James White, the running back. I mean, would he have 15 receptions against the Chargers? I mean, he's their safety valve, right? He's the check down guy. Everybody else is covered, and he's available. And he had a huge game against the Chargers, and that's why Dorian O'Daniel, I think, is important, right? I mean, getting him back and getting him out. Didn't practice today, right? He's the one.
Not at all.
Wait, who?
He did not practice, and I don't think he practiced last week either.
Right.
So, I mean, at this point, I'm just not sure that you're going to see it. I mean, I wouldn't count on it. And I think, and I don't have, but I think James White had a big game against them that first time.
Yeah, he did. He did.
I think receiving-wise, I think it might have been close to 100 yards. The number in my head is 97, but I'm not entirely sure about that. But, I mean, whether it's 197, it's too much to be given up.
Yeah. So he's the guy. The game in New England that the Chiefs won to open 2017 was the Eric Berry game, right? He just did this marvelous job on Gronkowski. Gronkowski's Sunday against the Chargers was a blocker. I mean, he caught one pass. It was a big pass, but he blocked the whole game. I kind of think that, I think if Eric Berry's back, he looks at that as his challenge, and those two guys will kind of neutralize each other, I think. So that's why I think James White's the guy. Of course, Sonny Michel's terrific, but I think James White's the key figure.
Well, and if you mentioned Dorian O'Daniel, depending on how the Patriots line up, I mean, it might be one of those games where they would have minimized his impact anyway, just by personnel, because if they come out with two running backs and a tight end, Dorian O'Daniel's probably not on the field that much. I mean, that's just
right. That's right.
And last time they played, I think it was about I was going to say a third, but it's actually more than a third. The number is like 33 snaps, so it was like 40% of the offense. Time the offense was on the field, they had a fullback in the game. That usually means Reggie Ragland's on the field. So those are snaps that Dorian O'Daniel wouldn't be on the field most likely anyway. And without memorizing the numbers from last week, they had a fullback and a tight end on the field a lot against the Chargers. So again, it's going to be a Ragland Hitchens day most likely, and then in passing downs you'll probably see Sorensen in there.
I agree. All right, sorry, I'm managing everything over here. Going to the
and doing a terrific job, by the way.
Thank you. I don't feel like it. Looking on the other side of the ball, we just talked about James White and what a threat he is, the passes he was catching, the way that he can run also. Can Damian Williams replicate what Kareem Hunt was able to do for the Chiefs offense the last couple times they played the Patriots? Kareem Hunt was kind of that guy. He caught the ball out of the backfield. He could run. He could do a little bit of everything. Is Damian Williams capable of stepping in and filling that role? Vahe, we're going to start in the middle.
Well, let's bear in mind that those two games Kareem Hunt had, he had, I think, like 370, 400 total yards in 2 games, right?
Cover Sports Illustrated after the first one.
Cover Sports Illustrated after the first one. 105 pass receiving yards in the game this year, 80 or something rushing. So I don't think the Chiefs will try to use him that way, right? I don't think they see Damian quite like that. I think they see him as a guy with more specific skills. We've talked about this last week. I think Damian Williams can handle the screen, but I don't think it's a special thing the way it is with Kareem Hunt, and that stood out in a few different ways, right? Although actually the play I always think of with Kareem Hunt against the Patriots was he ran basically a post in that first game, his rookie year, right? It was like a 78-yard or 67-yard touchdown. So I don't think they'll seek it that way, but I think that's okay. I mean, I think he'll still be an essential part of the game plan, but I don't think they can be thinking they're going to build around him quite like they might have around Kareem. And of course, Tyreek Hill had a pretty good game last time out too.
He did, yeah.
We haven't seen them do the same things with Damian Williams that we saw them do with Kareem. That kind of vertical route against the Patriots. There's some things in the screen game that I'm thinking of, like particularly like at Denver, they did a lot with Kareem, like in the screen game, and they use Damian in those situations, but not the same way. He can't break, or at least we haven't seen him break the play against the Browns in Cleveland, 50 yards or whatever it was.
First touchdown.
Yeah, we haven't seen Damian, like that. Like I think Damian Williams is a good back, but he's not.
His 10-yard touchdown run against the first touchdown against the Colts on Saturday, where he broke.
That was terrific.
Yeah, I thought that was. I don't think I'd seen quite that. I thought that was pretty impressive.
He also had I don't think they lose all that much in the run game. Do you guys remember? It was early in the game in Seattle. He had a run where he made a ton of guys miss and kind of went around the left side, and it looked like he was tackled.
Yes,
and then he still made 10, 12, 15 more yards. Good balance. That was always the thing that stuck out to me the most about Kareem Hunt, the balance, especially down the sideline. He showed that. So in the run game, I still think Kareem Hunt is better, but I don't think they lose that much. It's just in the screen game, I do think it's different. Just the menu becomes smaller, of the plays they can call.
I like, and you've written about this a lot. I love how he's always trying to prove himself too.
Yeah.
He has that.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big when you have doubters, and Patriots have been playing that card all week. But Damian Williams can truly play that card.
Oh yeah, he absolutely can. I mean, he's a guy that's been doubted since high school, and kind of every stop along the way, he's had to prove himself. And I thought he was great today. I think it was funny hearing Andy talk about his personality, how much he laughs in the locker room, is just a guy that's infectious, that you want to be around, which is what I'd heard from his mom and his high school coach. But to hear Andy Reid say it, it's okay, yeah, I mean, I guess this guy does have a presence in this locker room and is bringing something different to the position.
I thought he had a real presence at the podium today.
I thought he did too. Honestly, more than Kareem Hunt ever had in the limited experience that I had.
He laid out some really interesting things. I thought his words about Patrick Mahomes' leadership and how Patrick is all over the locker room.
Right.
We've kind of observed that, but I hadn't heard anybody really sort of state it as eloquently as he did today.
Right. How is he describing his shot, though? Because that's what we were all trying to figure out. He said a little hezzy to it, which I don't know what that means. Hesitation?
Little hesitation move, maybe?
I don't know, but what I remember of watching Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs have a basketball court, one net in the locker room, and it's kind of right in the middle of the locker room. And there have been days where we've seen him playing these kind of tournament games, not one-on-one or two-on-two even, but shot games.
Knockout.
One of the days we were in there, knockout. Patrick took a shot. It was certainly an NBA three-pointer. I think he was in flip-flops and a towel, and he launched it. It had to go underneath a pillar or a part of the beam that hangs down, and just swished right in. He just walked right into the shower. And I sort of thought, yeah, that's athleticism.
Yeah, that's an athlete.
So maybe Damian's a little jelly.
Could be. Damian, though, by the way.
What?
That got me.
A little jelly about the hezzy.
That's why I said it. Because I wanted to make sure I was, speaking the right.
You're hip to the
jargon.
lingo.
That got me.
Damien, by the way, was a baseball player first. I learned that. Hated it. And his baseball coach said, with your athleticism, if you like a sport, I can't imagine how good you're going to be, because you're good at baseball and you hate it and you don't really try.
Kind of like Kyler Murray, huh?
Yes.
How he hates baseball.
Yes.
Today.
Yeah. We could have a whole Facebook Live just on that.
And if you want to talk about the old chip on the shoulder and sort of creating that, his injury, the one that ended his time with the Dolphins.
On his literal shoulder,
against the Patriots, right?
Well, it's a really interesting combination, right? The Colts didn't want him, right? And he had that on his shoulder, and now the Patriots hurt him. So
Damian Williams is the gift that keeps on giving. I'm pretty sure I just write a new installment of his story every couple days.
I wonder how the Saints did him wrong.
Yeah. We'll find out soon, perhaps.
Maybe.
Let's see, what else? So, another thing on the offense, I feel like the minute that, it was a long time coming for the Patriots to win. That was a bit of a blowout. But when it became apparent that they were going to win, I saw the phrase passing the torch about 100 times on Twitter, from Mahomes to Brady, or Brady to Mahomes on Sunday. Is that a real storyline? Is that something? How significant is that going to be this weekend? Sam, your face says no, not at all. So let's skip this question. It's
No, it's worth talking about.
Yeah, it is.
The thing, yes, if it happens, if the Chiefs win, sure, we can talk. But
torch passed.
We all do this, and I mean people like us and people like that are watching.
We
all do this. We get ahead of it, right? If Patrick Mahomes beats Tom Brady in this game, sure. Like, that's something to talk about. AFC, it's the 8th straight game, is that right, that the Patriots have played? 8th straight AFC championship game. It becomes a legitimate thing, but, like, if the Patriots win, then, it just becomes like it's the same thing that Blake Bortles did last year,
Right.
and nobody was talking about that.
Man, you don't
right?
want to
like,
be in the same category as Blake Bortles.
And it just like I heard, there's a couple of people like, is this the end of the Patriots dynasty and the beginning of the Chiefs dynasty?
Right.
Like, let's pump the brakes a little bit, like, because like in human history, like we have gotten it wrong way more about predicting the next dynasty than we have like. Just
Looking
wait to
back on
see
them.
what happens. You know what I mean? Like,
and yet they're printing T-shirts in New England about this very subject.
so like, I don't know, man. Let's see what happens.
Bet against us. Bet against us.
Yeah, let's chat about that also, because what?
Oh my God.
If you're the Patriots, you're not the underdog. That's like Duke. Duke is never the underdog. Like you're the evil empire. You can't play the nobody believed in us card. You have lots of believers.
I've got strong feelings about this.
Go ahead.
The nobody believed in us thing is the most tired act in sports. In 2012, I don't know if you were there, USA basketball.
Oh, yeah.
You were in the Olympics.
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
USA basketball was saying like, they said we couldn't do it. Nobody believed in us.
Literally everyone said you could
The
do
team
it.
with like LeBron and like whoever else they had. Like, it is just so like tired. And look, like I get like he's an underdog. Like Tom Brady's an underdog for the first time in 67 games, right? But like nobody said you sucked.
Tom Brady might be an
let's stop
underdog
with
in
that.
this specific game, but in life, he's not an underdog. In life, like, he's always the favorite.
Yeah,
I
that
don't care what the line
199th
says.
pick thing expired
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Like, the fact that they're selling T-shirts that say "Bet Against Us" in the Patriots logo
Oh,
is
God.
just laughable.
Yeah.
If just
Well,
dumb.
whatever gets you into the game, right? I mean, it seems silly. It seems
No, it's
silly
so
they
dumb.
need to play on that.
It's so
Like,
dumb.
Really, you can't just be motivated for the game.
It's
like,
so
you need,
right,
You
you
know,
have to manufacture the storyline.
It's like a fun, like we all have like way too much time on our hands. There's too much time between games. Like we gotta find a way to fill it. That's on people like us and people like you. But like the Patriots aren't going to be any. They can talk about it. It makes for like a cool like if you're a Patriots fan, like bet against us. I'm gonna
We've
buy
never
that
gotten to do
T-shirt
this.
as long as it's like a tri-blend or whatever. But like they're not going to be any better on Sunday because of this, right?
No, but the fact
gonna
that
be great.
that Brady introduced it as he was walking off the field Sunday.
It kind of looked like he knew what he was doing. Like,
Oh,
it kind of
yeah,
looked like
100%.
they said
Yeah, that
we
was
suck.
no
That's right,
mistake.
Tracy Wolfson
Is
said,
anybody
going
going to really believe this?
And I saw on the transcript, I can't remember whether a question was asked if they were aware of him saying that on TV, but on the transcript or whatever he said after the game in the interview room, he didn't go there.
No, he didn't. He just
know,
said,
I-
I just like winning. That's
I don't know, was he presented the chance to?
Yes, yeah.
follow-
And all he said was, I just like winning.
I think he was having a flashback to the first Super Bowl they won against the Rams, where nobody thought they could do that one.
And I believe
was accurate. That was
That was
accurate.
true.
That was
totally
accurate. But yeah, I mean, like, you're the greatest quarterback in NFL history. You've won more Super Bowls,
Nobody
right,
has
than anybody
literally
else.
ever said that you suck.
You know, Brazilian supermodel wife. Like, you know, people don't think you suck.
I do think that maybe for a Facebook Live later in the week, we should talk about where Brady was at this point of Patrick Mahomes. Nobody expected Brady to be Brady, right?
Yeah.
We're all expecting Patrick Mahomes to be Brady
Yeah.
or something. I think that's an interesting
That sounds
topic
like a
for.
story.
There's a little
Also,
bit of
go
game
ahead and
manager
pencil
that
that
first
in.
year.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds like a Mellinger column.
Okay.
Pencil that into your
Editor
book.
Jack.
All right. I'll do it, Jack.
Although, speaking of things that you've written, you wrote a really great story on Charvarius Ward. It looked like it's over 2,000 words. Do you want to
Probably.
boil it down to like less than that? Or
yeah.
just tease it so people will want to go read the...
KansasCity.com or a newsstand near you. Charvarius Ward, who everybody here knows I've been a fan of. I even thought he played well in the Seattle game. I thought they were just like perfect throws from
He
a
was in
Hall
the
of
right
Fame
place.
quarterback
He seemed to be in the right
to
place.
a star receiver. I didn't think he played that bad. Too many penalties, but whatever. He's got, like, as it turns out, he's like got this incredible story where they held him back in kindergarten because they thought he had a learning disability. Turns out he just couldn't see. They gave him glasses, and he got he graduated from high school with a 3.8, skipped his sophomore year because they were like, well, okay, I guess you're smart now. Also I thought this was a great story even before. Undrafted, rookie free agent, comes in, gives them a legitimate, tangible boost. And I was like, but you never played until your senior year in high school. And he was like, and I thought it was a great story anyway. And he goes, whoa. The reason that I quit after Pee Wee football is that they thought I had cancer because I broke my hip and there's still a plate in the hip. So I was in a wheelchair for a while and I'm like, man, I didn't need this.
Now you're just going to write a book.
A great story, But there was a 2-year period starting in second grade where he spent, I don't know if it was 24 months, but more than half of that 2-year period either on crutches or in a wheelchair recovering from surgery to take out a cyst in his hip bone.
Yes.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
And now here he is. There's not an athlete in his family apparently, but he's 6'1", 200 pounds, runs a 4'4",
Where's he from?
11-foot broad jump, Macomb, Mississippi. Gerard Dyson's home.
No.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
So has he been on Gerard Dyson Boulevard or whatever that street is?
Should have asked him that.
Yeah, I'm just
Should've
curious.
asked
Well,
him.
you have to come back with something else.
Yeah.
And he didn't actually have cancer, right?
Correct. Yeah. It was a cyst. It was benign. Is that the
Benign, yep.
Yeah.
Benign.
We're all doctors here.
So
If he had, that would have been another 3 stars and another.
yeah. So he went Macomb High 1 year, Hines Community College 2 years, Middle Tennessee State 2 more years, undrafted free agent, and here he is, right? He's a key part of this. He's got long arms. I think he can play. I think this is more than people like us remember Marcus Cooper, right?
Yes, we do.
I don't think this is. Were you around for Marcus
Yeah,
Cooper?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
People like us. I don't think this is Marcus Cooper. I think he's more physically gifted than Marcus Cooper.
How fast is he?
They said 4'4".
4'4". So does that make him top 5 on the team?
I don't know. I looked up the average NFL Combine, the average measurements for each position, and for cornerback, he was above average in basically everything but bench press. It was height, weight, reach. It's 33.5 inch. Anyway, height, weight, reach, hand size, vertical, broad jump. He was above average in everything. And the people at the Chiefs, they'll tell you he's got talent. He just needs to play. He needs reps.
What he needs to be doing is saying that's what speed do. Like Gerard Dyson. We're going to need Dyson on this if they get advanced.
Speaking of speed, though, it's interesting that Tremont Smith, famously the second fastest guy on the team, right?
He says.
Dave Tobe said, right?
Dave Tobe said,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, I thought
He
Tyreek
has
says
lion speed,
Tyreek says
by the way.
DeMarcus, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we heard
but
Dave
we
Tobe
heard
was the one who said
yeah.
that in camp.
Yeah, that's right. Lion.
Charvarius passed Tremont Smith on the depth chart pretty quickly.
Yeah,
that
he
happened
did.
pretty
That's right.
quickly.
Yeah.
And then there was a moment early December, I believe before the Baltimore game, where they were going to play him. They were going to start him, and he just had a bad week of practice, didn't play, and then I think it took the non-switch, against the Chargers, and now look, he wore it in Seattle, it was a bad game or whatever, but against Oakland, it's Oakland, whatever. But then to do that against Indianapolis, he was covering T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah.
A lot of that game.
Yeah.
And another challenge on Sunday, but it's a terrific, not his story is a terrific story. I hope you guys read it because he's got an incredible story to share.
Well, we're going to sign off very shortly so you guys can all go read Sam's story because it's going to take a while, but it's worth every minute. Before we go, though, should we do score predictions today or save it for tomorrow? Because spoiler alert, we're coming back tomorrow or Friday afternoon.
Friday, we haven't decided.
TBD, because we don't know if you really need to see us 2 times back to back. But we'll be back again later this week. Do you guys want to save score predictions for later this week, or would you like to toss them out now?
Are we going to let them evolve like weather forecasts, or do we got to dig in?
I think you have to dig in. That's no. They can evolve because my evolved last week. I was trying to think like I don't want to be a hypocrite here.
Mine evolved like 6 times last week.
What'd you settle on?
31-13 Chiefs.
I remember that.
Nailed it.
Yeah. That was,
Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head. So
Let's save it.
All right, we'll save it. And on that note, though, we are going to sign off because we want to leave you guys wanting more, which we'll give you later this week. So for everybody here, sign off. You can follow all of our work on kansascity.com, on the Facebook page, in the Red Zone app, and the Kansas City Star app, on Twitter. You name it, you can find it also in your paper every morning. So we will see you guys later.